are in the middle of an airport and he is visibly trying to walk away, and she's like pushing him and like hitting someone that's quite literally afraid to even record myself in public.
Newly released footage shows the incident that led to the arrest of Dallas native and Olympian sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson.
TMZ obtained some surveillance footage of the incident, which happened late.
Christian, are you serious right now?
Christian. Washington State, he doesn't get a say.
But I understand. We were arguing. But I understand entirely. We were arguing. Okay, I'm not gonna resist. But I'm telling you that we were arguing. I didn't assault him. I didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that you guys are doing this to me and he's a man in this situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at all. But you had me on camera. But at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, shows something different. So if I need to show that, I will.
I have you on camera all around here.
Okay, but I have my phone that shows something.
Sha'Carri Richardson didn't just get suspended. She got wiped off Team USA like she never existed. One cold email. No warning, no sympathy. Just straight up, you're done. And the reason? An uncut leaked video that allegedly shows her clashing with her boyfriend at the airport, and now officials are saying this was the last straw. But here's the wild part. No one can even agree on what's real. Is Sha'Carri telling the truth, or is Christian flipping the story? Reports claim she was arrested at Seattle-Tacoma International after things allegedly got heated between her and Christian while they were trying to catch a flight. Maybe she thought it would all fade away once the gossip cooled down. But instead, she got hit with the biggest shock of her career, completely axed from Team USA. And make no mistake, this isn't some temporary slap on the wrist. This is the kind of move that can end a career overnight. Sha'Carri didn't even hear it from the league directly. Her own agent just forwarded her the email like it was junk mail. The message said she was being placed on an indefinite leave. In track and field language, that's just a dressed-up way of saying you're fired. No press conference, no sit-down, no chance to defend herself. Just deleted with one click. No athlete walks back from an indefinite leave and returns the same. And Sha'Carri Richardson knows it deep down. What crushed her wasn't even the suspension itself. It was the way it was delivered. Cold, robotic, heartless. The email didn't try to soften the blow. No sympathy, no lifeline, just a blunt line that read, "You're hereby placed on leave, effective immediately." For Sha'Carri, that wasn't just a notice. It was a knockout punch. This wasn't the league politely telling her to lay low until things blew over. This was a public execution disguised as policy, their way of screaming, "We're done with you." The patience was gone, the respect was gone, and the message was crystal clear. She was out. And here's the real kicker, that airport arrest? It wasn't her first time dancing on the edge of disaster. Sha'Carri's been piling up warnings for years, with a string of slip-ups that almost crushed her career long before this meltdown. Looking back, it feels less like a shock and more like the ending everyone knew was coming. Because let's not forget, this isn't her first showdown with the league's iron fist. In 2020, she was slapped with suspension right before the Tokyo Olympics after testing positive for THC, a red flag that sent shockwaves through the sport. Just like that, she got an email from the U.S. anti-doping agency ordering her into a counseling program. But that was only the beginning. The start of a downward spiral that's still unfolding today. Sha'Carri didn't just get hit with a 1-month suspension. That single penalty ripped away the biggest race of her entire life, the Olympic 100 meters. And just when she thought things couldn't possibly sink lower, the hammer dropped again. She was yanked from the women's 4x100 relay team too. 2 events gone in one strike. Her whole Olympic dream shattered in the blink of an eye. Fans were furious back then. People called the punishment overkill, especially since cannabis isn't some hardcore performance booster. It's legal in most states now. But the Federation didn't budge an inch. They doubled down, saying the suspension wasn't just about the drug. It was about Sha'Carri's entire attitude. They claimed this was proof of a bigger problem brewing beneath the surface. Behind closed doors, whispers were already swirling. Teammates allegedly complaining about her energy in practice, coaches fed up with her lack of discipline, and reports that she flat out refused to play by the rules of authority. It wasn't just one slip-up. It was a pattern, stacked brick by brick until it became impossible to ignore. And here's the detail that cuts the deepest.
I didn't do anything wrong, but the fact that you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in the situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at
I
all.
appreciate it.
But you have me on camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, so something different.
When this airport scandal exploded, not one of her teammates stepped up to defend her. No public statements, no tweets, not even a lazy Instagram story. Just silence. And in the world of sports, silence isn't neutral. It's loud, it's clear, and it tells you exactly where they stand. But here's the real mystery. How did Sha'Carri manage to keep slipping through the cracks for so long? And why hasn't anyone close to her stepped up to call her out until now? This arrest at the airport might just be scratching the surface of a much deeper, messier story than anyone thought. The first red flag popped up just days after the incident. Out of nowhere, Sha'Carri's boyfriend, Christian Coleman, jumped to her defense, saying she never should have been arrested at all. And that raised eyebrows instantly, because let's be real, the whole reason police got involved in the first place was the claim that she put hands on him in public. So when the alleged victim suddenly flips the script and protects her, fans weren't buying it for a second. Then came the leaked video. Christian sitting down, trying to brush it off as nothing major, saying it was just a bad moment they both stumbled into. But the way he said it told a whole different story. His body language was screaming nerves, fidgeting nonstop, avoiding the camera, shifting in his chair like he wanted out of there yesterday. He couldn't even lock eyes with the lens, and that uneasy energy said more than his words ever could. The second that clip hit Twitter, boom, the internet blew up. People tore apart every frame, pointing out how strange the whole thing looked. One user dropped the line that had everyone talking. This looks like a DV victim defending and justifying his abuser. DV should never be tolerated under any circumstances. That single comment lit the thread on fire and turned the spotlight right back on Sha'Carri. But here's where things really spiraled. Even after the first leaks, Sha'Carri still had a loyal squad of fans riding for her, defending her every move, and even trying to flip the blame back onto Christian. People twisted themselves into knots to excuse her behavior, but all that blind defense came crashing down the moment the next video dropped, the one that confirmed the rumors everyone had been whispering about, but nobody wanted to say out loud. And here's the kicker. Sha'Carri hadn't even been straight about her role in the fight from the jump. At first, she brushed it off like it was nothing, calling it a silly couple's spat that just got a little too heated in public. That excuse worked for a while because people had only seen a short clip. But once the uncut footage surfaced, that entire version of events fell apart in seconds. When the police released the full 15-minute arrest video, the whole picture came into focus, and it wasn't pretty. From the very beginning, you could see she was fired up. At first, she tried to fake it, smiling, playing polite with the cops, pretending it was all under control. But the moment those cuffs came out, everything changed in an instant. The clip captured it all. Sha'Carri flipping from fake calm to complete meltdown. 1 minute she's grinning, the next she's snapping, throwing insults at Christian, straight up calling him a coward. Then she turned the heat up even more, pressing him to cover for her, demanding he tell officers she didn't do anything. Over and over, she kept repeating she was innocent, like saying it enough times could magically wipe away the truth staring everyone in the face. But it didn't stop there. Sha'Carri flipped the whole script, jumping straight into victim mode, claiming Christian hit her first. Then came the wildest twist. She told officers he should be the one arrested just because he's the man.
Dude, my name is Sha'Carri Richardson. I do have my ID. Yeah, but I would definitely leave him alone. There's nothing that I want to do with him anymore. Like I said, it was a relationship thing. I need to get my stuff out of his bag.
Are you guys on the same flight? Or?
We are later on in the day. Because our flight ended up getting delayed. We were supposed to be leaving around this time of day, but the flight got canceled. So the flight doesn't leave until 10 p.m.-ish.
Okay.
So yeah, if you don't mind, can I step over here so I can check my ID?
That's fine.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, Sissy. But you hear me, right? So this is the position that Christian told me to put me into, okay? Because he's a coward, and I don't want anything to do with him at this point going forward. My name is Sha'Carri Richardson. Have no problem with letting you know who I am. Haven't put my hands on him. We had an argument. I will be honest about that. An argument.
But here's the problem. The video evidence shows her putting hands on him plain as day. That contradiction had people shaking their heads, and once the clip hit the timeline, the internet was ready to shred her story to pieces. Fast forward a couple days, boom, TMZ comes crashing in with the receipts. They dropped the actual CCTV footage from the airport, showing the entire so-called fight between Sha'Carri and Christian. And once people watched it, the puzzle pieces snapped right into place. Her meltdown during the arrest, the defensiveness, the sudden switch-ups in her story, it all screamed guilty. Because in that TMZ clip, it's crystal clear. Sha'Carri is the one shoving Christian, putting her hands on him and getting all up in his face. She came in aggressive from the very first moment, and the cameras caught everything with no filter, no editing, no way to twist it. Meanwhile, Christian? He didn't even throw a hand back. If anything, the footage makes him look like he was just trying to retreat, stepping back again and again to get space. But the more he backed away, the harder she pressed forward. The CCTV exposed the truth raw and uncut, one-sided, ugly, and impossible to deny. And here's the kicker. That footage didn't just prove Sha'Carri was bending the truth. It showed just how calculated the whole situation really was. Because let's be real, if that tape had never leaked, she might have actually pulled it off, flipping the narrative and painting Christian as the aggressor. But once the world saw the receipts, every lie she'd tried to spin got dragged right into the spotlight. The reaction was chilling. The second TMZ dropped that video, everything went quiet. Sha'Carri? Silent. Her fan base? Silent. Even the loudest defenders who had been backing her days earlier went ghost. It felt like everyone suddenly realized the game was up, the truth was out, and there was no covering it anymore. At that point, the only card Sha'Carri had left to play was to step forward, take responsibility, and face the music. But when she finally broke her silence, what came out shocked everyone. Because instead of fixing her image, she somehow managed to dig the hole even deeper. Her so-called apology video went instantly viral, but not for the reasons she hoped. In the clip, she talked about accountability, self-reflection, and asking forgiveness from the people she hurt, especially Christian. On paper, those words sounded fine, but the way she said them, that was the problem. Her tone, her body language, her delivery. It all told a completely different story. Fans caught the mismatch instantly. Her words didn't match her vibe at all. She was smiling, even giggling at times, like she was doing a casual IG story time instead of addressing something as heavy as a DV scandal. Viewers swore they could see the PR fingerprints all over it, like she was just reading lines her team forced into her hands. And honestly, watching that clip, it's hard not to argue. But the chaos didn't end with that apology. Sha'Carri made it even messier with an IG story, this time aimed directly at Christian. She wrote, "I apologize to Christian. He came into my life and gave me more than a relationship. He gave me a greater understanding of unconditional love. From my past trauma and pain, I was blind, blocked off, unable to receive it or give it. I love him, and I can't apologize enough. My apologies should be just as loud as my actions, honestly louder. To Christian, I love you and I'm so sorry." On paper, that might read emotional, maybe even raw. But fans weren't buying it one bit. Just like the video before, people slammed it as nothing more than fake remorse. Too polished, too rehearsed, it came off like damage control instead of genuine regret. And the fact she kept smiling through parts of it, that only made her look worse. The internet didn't hold back. One fan tweeted, "She already had a bad attitude, got caught, and now she's assaulting a man in public? Time to pack her up." Another tagged her sponsors directly, calling for them to cut ties immediately. And someone else summed it up perfectly. "I don't like her apology at all. She doesn't seem sincere and she's smiling way too much." The backlash was brutal, and it spread fast. So here we are, her career dangling by a thread, her reputation in shreds, and the court of public opinion ready to hand down its final verdict. The big question now, is Sha'Carri really sorry? Or is this just another PR stunt that completely backfired? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this video everywhere, and don't forget to subscribe, because the next twist in this saga, you definitely don't want to miss it. Nike, Sprite, Haute Paris. The names don't get any bigger, and insiders say the pressure is building for them to finally cut ties with Sha'Carri once and for all. Up to now, her sponsors have stayed dead silent while the scandal raged on, but behind the scenes, the conversations are getting heated. Sha'Carri had racked up some of the most lucrative endorsement deals in the game, But now, every single one of them is hanging by a thread. And here's the reality. Companies like Nike don't play around with their image. The second an athlete becomes a liability, they move quick, and Sha'Carri may have just crossed the line that brands never forgive. No official announcements have dropped yet, but the whispers say it all. Her phone's been blowing up with brand reps, asking if she can even fulfill her obligations. And when sponsors start questioning whether you're worth the risk, that's usually the beginning of the end. Meanwhile, the new deals that were supposed to level her up? Shelved. Frozen. Gone. Lawyers are circling like vultures on both sides. Contracts are being dissected line by line, and Sha'Carri is watching her empire slip right through her fingers in real time. And the wildest part, she's gone completely silent. No posts, no clapbacks, no fiery defiance. The same woman who sprinted headfirst through scandal after scandal with her chin up is now cornered and standing still. If this suspension sticks, it's no longer just about being benched from Team USA. It's about being out of the race entirely, losing the medals, the millions, and the spotless image she fought to build from nothing. The stakes don't get higher than this. So now it's on you. Is this the final chapter of Sha'Carri Richardson's career, or does she somehow pull off a comeback against all odds? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this video everywhere, and don't forget to subscribe. Because the next twist in this saga, you do not want to miss it. See you on the next one.